All right, welcome on in, everybody. Talking Buffalo, your weekday daily driver for Buffalo Sports Talk and more. My name is Patrick Moran. Thank you, as always, for listening to the show, for watching it, however you are taking in this podcast. Truly appreciate you guys very much. Big shout out, as always, to the sponsor for today's show, the law office of William Mattar. Heard in a car, call William Mattar. 444-4444. Call William Mattar today to get the compensation that you deserve. This is our Monday podcast. On the video side, I am live as usual by my guest, Joe from Queens. I got to tell you a little quick story about, I'll give you a little bit of an insider's view of the process of this show. It is not never quick, but here's the truth. So this being a, 5 times a week show, recording this every Sunday through Thursday for Monday through Friday pods. By the time it gets to be Thursday and I'm done recording that last episode, whether it's with a guest or by myself, I'm kind of a little bit burnt out for the week. Like, I'm glad to not have a few days of, not having to record the show. Then by the time it gets to be Sunday evening, getting close to 9 p.m. when we typically record this show, I start to get excited again. I start to get excited about the week, having you on, interacting with people in the live chat, just getting the week going. But that's not the case right now, because right before we came on the air, I didn't even know what this was on, but I was watching on Netflix. The Actors Awards is called now. It was SAG Awards. It used to be the SAG Awards, and it was really cool. Really cool. Catherine O'Hara won as your cracking. Hold on. Whoa. February's over.
I know, but keep with your mundane, boring story about your Netflix, but go ahead.
No, well, the SAG Awards, the Actor Awards was on, and it was actually really cool. Catherine O'Hara, who unfortunately just passed away, she won Best Actress in a comedy. Seth Rogen accepted on her behalf. That was pretty cool. Just as we were about to go on the air, Nola Wiley won Best Actor for The Pit. I've been telling anybody who'll listen, it's the best first season of any TV show I've ever seen in my life. But let me start by asking you a question, or anybody who's listening or watching this show. The one TV show that is cleaning up, at least so far on this award show, is The Studio with Seth Rogen. I've never seen it. I haven't heard you talk about it either. Have you watched it before?
No, dude. I haven't watched anything. I just caught up with House of Dragons on Game of Thrones. It's been out for 2 years because we don't do screen time, and I'm just a busy guy. I don't have time to watch anything anymore. So I make the worst pop. I'm becoming you in a way where I'm going to be all about nostalgia, the 80s and 90s and 2000s, because I don't have time to watch what's on now. So I have to. I'm gonna try. I just got through House of Dragons. I gotta do another Game of Thrones thing. I may do The Pit because you won't shut up about it. By the way, I am drinking a Julius, which is from Treehouse Brewing, which is in Massachusetts. Very good brewery. It is a tropical beer with notes of peach, mango, passion fruit, and citrus. And it's gentle on the palate, and it's 6.8% alcohol. And yes, I am off the wagon for now. I'm only going to be doing this. I'm dieting still. I'm sorry to take the heat away from your great story about awards. Like, no one gives a shit about award shows. I hate award shows.
I usually don't either, but it was interesting.
I'll give Catherine, for her, the actress, rest in peace. She was awesome in Schitt's Creek and a lot of other things. But yeah, I'm really sticking to my diet of I'm trying not to do any carbs. I'm trying to not have sandwiches, French fries. I made it about Lent, which, go Jesus and Lent. Don't get it, but I'll get it. But this is a carb I'm going to drink. So bottoms up. Anyway, what do we got on the docket today? Or do you have
you
to
didn't
keep
pay any attention as usual to what I had sent you?
No,
before.
You said.
By the way,
I told you I didn't watch the show. I read the docket. I'm saying, isn't this when you go into your spiel about this is what's coming up on Talking Buffalo? Me and Joe are going to talk about about the Bills and Brandon Beane, and then whatever. And then I love Tooch, and that's it. Like, tell us the rundown.
Tooch is in the house. Shout out Tooch. Shout out Diving Pickle, who apparently is drinking again. Imagine that. It seems to be a regular on the show. There seems to be a lot of people who are happy that you're off the wagon, too. I'll say that.
No.
You mentioned diet, bro. I'm down. You're not going to give me any credit. I'm down like almost 20 pounds.
No, because you look the same.
Skinny
every
pat.
day.
Do I? I
You
do.
look the same. Like you wear.
I've lost 20 pounds, but I haven't lost any belly fat, and I still got that neck fat too. It's disgusting.
You got a belly. I'm not gonna lie. It's kind
do.
of that's impressive.
Skinny frame. I look pregnant.
But the belly, is that from a lot of beer? Because you don't drink beer. Like, what the hell is that from?
I drink beer. I drink plenty of beer. I drank plenty of beer Saturday night. Shout out. Let's see. Shout out Saturday. Elmo's, Dog and Pony.
Elmo's like the in
the wing
like,
spot in Amherst.
Oh, okay. Yep. Oh, who'd you ambush? Was Tim Graham there? You ambushed him there?
No, I didn't ambush Tim Graham there.
You would have showed up. I'm sure you drive by there every day. Is Tim Graham's car there?
No. I went with my buddy Mike, actually, manager at Imperial Pizza. Shout out to him. But we went to Elmo's for wings and had a couple beers. Then we hit up South Buffalo. We went to Dog and Pony on Seneca Street. Really nice bar, by the way. Went right across the street after that to Blackthorn. Then we hit up West Seneca and did Potter's Field, and then we went to Sunny Reds and had some beers there. Anyway, plenty of beers. By the way, Christopher in the live chat, Dominic D'Amato says, wow, Matt Perino from Queens. Chris is trying to keep some heat going between Joe from Queens and Matt Perino. Chris went on Shout, which, of course, is Matt and Ryan Talbot's podcast, and mentioned something about awaiting your response to Matt Perino about what we were talking about on the show last week. I'm like, it's a nothing burger.
I haven't gotten a DM or he has not accepted my invitation, my open challenge, so it's fine.
I don't think he's listening to the show or cares. I just find it kind of funny.
No, he said that he listens to our show. When you I know you were probably not listening when you were doing your anniversary show because you were like, oh my God, I'm with the Mats. This is amazing. But he did say that he knows about the ball washing. He said he heard me and he said he wanted to talk.
Ball washing.
Unless you told him beforehand, by the way, I hope you're not listening to our podcast when Joe, because he might be bashing you, and I don't like when he bashes you because you're the guy of my guys. So, I'm just saying. Go ahead.
Joe's in character, by the way. If you're watching on the video, so I do like the hoodie. Well, you're being a wrestler. You're gimmicky, and it's you're being all gimmick full on. Andre the Giant. It's a sweet hoodie, though. I'll give you that.
I'm like Roddy Piper, 1985. It's a life. Okay, we're shooting, bro, constantly. Anyways, go ahead.
This is Tooch. I want to see a promo between Joe and Matt. I'll have you guys on and you could just shoot on each other. I actually think it's
yeah, dude, it's never gonna happen. You see, Tooch, it won't happen because first off, Pat's an egomaniac. He's like he could never be the third wheel. He'd be the guy in the threesome that no one wants to fuck. He's there, and you're like, okay, I guess I gotta fuck this guy, and he wouldn't be able to handle it, and like no one wants him in there. And then he couldn't handle that being the third wheel. So it's not happening.
I usually don't put up negative takes. And I appreciate everyone who comes in the live chat. I really do. And I don't put up and deal with like negative takes about other people. But I got to read this one because this is terrible. He says, Matt Perino's a Bills apologist, homer, and will always think every move they make is great. That's an awful, in all due respect, Matt, that's a terrible take. I would venture to say that Matt Perino is probably one of the more critical media members. Yeah, I'm ball washing. I know I'm ball washing. Matt is without question to me one of the more critical members of the Bills media. He asks good questions at press conferences. If you go on a shout show, especially after a Bills loss,
so we can cover the news there. He's a hard ass journalist.
Yeah, no, it's again, all due respect, that's an awful take. You want to say other things, say them, but that's not it, man. That's not accurate.
He likes him some Brandon Beane, though. I'll say that though. So he loves Brandon Beane. That's all I gotta say.
A lot of media people like Brandon Beane. I think he's a personal guy. I think he's a personal guy. I don't think we care for him too much because he's coming up on today's Talking Buffalo, we're going to talk about Brandon Beane. Joe wrote, and we'll get into his blog here in a minute. I'll plug that. I'll put that over. But Joe wrote is Brandon Beane really as aggressive as he thinks he is? We're going to discuss that because I tend to agree with you. Some comments he made at the combine about him being aggressive and having to tone it down a little bit. I'm like, really? So we're going to talk about that today. We'll get into some other Bills stuff as well. Mostly Brandon Beane stuff, and we'll spend a good time talking about that. If Stefon Diggs gets cut by the Patriots, which could happen, could the Bills be interested in a reunion without a Sean McDermott coached Buffalo Bills? I'll get your thoughts on that. Some other Bills stuff. I do want to, before we get into any Bills stuff, though, quickly here, you said you were going to talk about it anyway, and I was already planning on it. The Buffalo Sabres, dude, are just, they are literally right now a wagon. They come off the Olympic break, 3 straight games on the road. I was like, yo, if they could win 2 to 3, I would gladly sign up for that. They won all 3, including beating the shit out of Tampa Saturday night. The top team in the division on the road. They smacked them. Pretty wild. Anyway, the Sabres, dude, they have the best point win percentage and the best goaltending save percentage in the NHL since December 8th. They're 22-5-2 in their last 31 games. I mean, that's a long stretch. That's almost half a season now. And the last thing I'll say is, as we're recording this is the first time in 16 years the Buffalo Sabres are in a playoff spot in March 1st. They're usually done by now. Even the last time they made the playoffs, they weren't in the playoffs on this date. So going back 16 years, you told me you actually watched the last 2 games. So, I mean, you're into it, and you're not alone. A lot of people are getting into them, Joe.
No, yeah. I mean, the last 2 games I watched, I was really impressed with them. I mean, look, you score 6 goals against, Tampa Bay, the top team in the Eastern Conference. I was really impressed with in the Tampa game with Norris. I mean, he hasn't been, he's been hurt. He's kind of like the X factor for them because he's been hurt most of the season. And I see this guy, and he's got a lot of he's got a little bit of like Tim Connolly in him a little bit in terms of how he skates. He gets in the kind of the dirty areas in front of the net as well. He's shifty. I mean, they gave up. Look, Dylan Cousins, I know he was dead when they traded him, but he was still like a former 30-goal scorer. He was still like a high prospect. They paid him a decent amount. And Norris, they get, and he obviously the issue is he can't stay healthy, but he's a big X factor for them. And he was really good against Tampa. They're scoring. They're playing really good defense, and I think that's like the cornerstone of what a Lindy Ruff team is. It's like you're not giving a lot of high percentage shots. Like they're making UPL and Lyon look good. And one question I have for you, and I'm curious, because again, I know I haven't followed it as well as you have, but I know you steal everyone's takes about it. If the playoffs were to start tomorrow, like who's the starting goalie? Like in game 1, are you going to be alternating them, or are you waiting?
That's a great question.
Yeah, because I'm like, who's it going to be? Because Lindy, look, I don't know. I didn't follow Lindy, and I know in Jersey the goaltending situation was terrible there. That's ultimately why he got fired. I don't remember Dallas, but with the Sabres, he always had it was Hasek Miller always in the playoffs, so he knew he was starting. It's like, who are you going with? And I'm really curious where you're going to go there because both goalies, they looked good. So I'm really curious to see. But yeah, it was fun to watch. I feel, watching Olympic hockey, like just the teams and like how good the hockey was, it gets you excited for hockey. And like I'm like, all right, I'm ready now. I made a pact with myself, like, okay, look, I'm gonna watch both these games. I don't care if Andy's up. Watch the freaking screen. You're a genius scholar as far as I'm concerned. We read you books enough already. Now you get to watch hockey on the damn TV screen. But I watched the Florida game at a bar on my phone while I was chatting with two Rangers fans who are big hockey nuts or whatever. And then last night I watched it, all of it, and they're impressive. And they're right there. And I have to figure out the stupid playoff scenario because I really don't get it still to this day how they changed it. And I'm like, who are we playing? How's this wild card bullshit work? I'm still confused by it, but. Look, we'll see. I think the big thing is what are they going to do at the deadline? I mean, that's what, next week, correct? Oh, this week coming up. This week,
right? Friday, 3 p.m. I don't think they're going to do anything drastic. I don't think they need to. I think they'll add another defenseman, a third-line defenseman, maybe get a little forward depth. I'm really intrigued by your question about who would start. My money would be on UPL for game 1, but... there's a case, and I saw people talking about this. You want to talk about stealing takes on Twitter? I'm going to steal one. I saw somebody, I don't know who it was, so I'm stealing it without even giving credit. But
probably
somebody it's an hockey guy, said that Alex Lyon might be the best free agent signing of any player in the entire NHL this summer. Again, I mean, where would this team be without him, especially when UPL
Yeah.
was hurt and not playing that well. Lyon has carried this team in a lot of ways, but I still think UPL's are 1A right now. I do want to say this too. Tomorrow, Monday night on the video side, 9 p.m. live, Joe Yurden's going to be with me, and we're going to be talking a lot of Sabres. Of course, Joe covers the team, and I'll ask you this real quick, then I want to jump into Bill's stuff, but, because I want to, again, deep dive more with Joe Yurden tomorrow, but does this seem so good right now that if a month ago, if you and I were having this conversation, we'd have been like, hey, I just want the drought to end. And if the drought ends, it's a successful season. I don't give a shit if they lose 4-0, 3 straight games, and get bounced from the playoffs, whether it's 5 games, 7, whatever. I don't care about that anymore. That's the goalpost move now for you that this team can not only get in the playoffs, but they can do some damage. Like, there's nobody in the East that is head and shoulders better than the Buffalo Sabres. Like, my expectation now is shifting to get into the playoffs and to do some damage.
I'm still there with like, look, just get in and I'll be happy with everything kind of thing. Part of me is like the division they're in is very stacked.
Sure.
And I know like there's that, like I said, I still can't figure out the stupid wild card thing. I have to ask Ostrander about it. Maybe he can explain to me one day. Chris at, Dick in the Box. But yeah, look, I'm just happy for them just to get in and I'll enjoy it. I'm really curious about the deadline. I think it was one of the guys from Canada, like I forgot which hockey guy it was. Not Drager, one of the main guys said that they're going to be aggressive and they're in buy mode or whatever. So we'll see what they do in terms of, Tuck they're obviously going to keep and then figure out what happens in the offseason if they want to sign him or not. I would still kick the tires. I know he's great, but like if you can get a couple guys that can play right away, it is no weird chance for me. It's no chance. I know, but if I was the GM, I would do it because I don't want to lose him for nothing. But I wouldn't. But I would want someone that's going to play now. But I get that, like they might just say, "Screw it." People lose the.
He's their rental player. If they lose him, they lose him. You know what I mean? He's their rental player.
Yeah.
There's no chance they're trading Tuck right now, unless it's by some miraculous great top six forward kind of pure hockey trade. But I really don't see that happening. Not before the deadline.
Let me ask you real quick, and you can ask Yurden this tomorrow night. Do you view Kevin Adams completely different now since the team is hot and it's like the same? They haven't changed the roster. It's the same stuff. Like the new GM has been. I don't know what he's been doing. He extended Doan. That's it. That's all he's really done.
I look at it, and I will examine this more with Yurden tomorrow. I look at it as I never realized that it matters like a GM besides what they do like on paper, the leadership. Same roster to your point. They haven't really done anything different, but literally the second that team got wind, we started getting wind that Kevin Adams is probably going to get fired after the end of that road trip. The team got wind and they literally started winning. And they were 11-14-2 till that moment. And then they lose to Calgary. And bam, he's going to get fired, which when it starts to come to that, this team just turns it around. He deserves credit for putting it on paper, but his leadership, that team just wasn't going to bat for him. They weren't following him.
That's a good point, and that makes me want to go back in time to bring this story up. When Tom Golisano sold the Sabres to Terry Pegula, and not to totally revisit Golisano, he was always, to me, a frugal guy. He didn't spend a lot of money. It just felt like they weren't really going to do much of anything. I don't know. It just felt like they were cheap. And that season, Pegula bought the team in February. There were rumors and early January he was going to buy it. And the Sabres at that point were like dead last in the conference. They were terrible. They had nothing. And then all of a sudden, boom, news hits. We find out that this guy's like a billionaire. And like this is when Terry, we all liked him, and he was a billionaire. And then same roster, they started clicking. And they started winning. And they went on a freaking huge run. They may have the best record from January until the end of the season. And I think a lot of it was they were excited to get a new owner, and that could have been the same thing. They were like sick and tired of looking at Kevin Adams, freaking Ron Howard looking face every day. So,
all right, well, that's our Sabres ball washing. Shout out Bella Rose 6218 in the live says, "Hello, Pat and Joe from Queens. Whole ball is good. Absolutely love your channel, Pat." All right, we got some ball washers in the live chat, man. I love to see that.
I can use the ball washing thing. That's my gimmick. Okay, you find your own thing. Find your pander.
Well,
I get you pandering.
I'll steal it one last time because we'll ball wash you for a quick, brief second there. Joe's got a blog now, and allegedly, according to sources, he's actually going to start fucking writing more than once every 6 months in it.
I have a piece ready for tomorrow, by the way, that I will be launching in the morning. So I have another piece.
It's people, if you're listening to this or watching, remember, pause if you have to. It's simple. joefromqueens.substack.com. Last week you wrote something, this past week I should say, that actually gave me an idea to talk about on this show. And again, it honestly, I hate giving you credit because it kind of annoys me, but I like the format. You had Bill's Takes and Dad Mistakes Volume 1. So you talk about the Bills.
And tomorrow's Volume 2, by the way.
Tomorrow's Volume 2. And then you had some dad shots, which is pretty random stuff. Pretty entertaining shit. But anyway, the primary part of your post was about Brandon Beane. You know, Brandon Beane is aggressive. And then you wrote ... for a quote. And it really got me thinking, is Brandon Beane as aggressive as he thinks he is? You wrote it feels more like branding than reality. That's what you wrote in there. I listened to Brandon Beane speak at the NFL Combine. I know how much the Combine means to you. I know how much you love it, and all the interviews and the great segments.
Yeah.
Well, one comment that Brandon Beane said, and I'm paraphrasing, but something along the lines of he tends to get too aggressive, and he knows that he tends to get too aggressive, and that it takes other people in the building to kind of reel him back a little bit. I'll let you take a lot of this segment over. I'm just kind of painting the picture here. But he said that. He said like something to the effect of, I need other guys to kind of peel me back from being aggressive. And I'm like, really? Because, and you'll talk about this, he's had like 3 moves as Bills GM that I would call completely, absolutely aggressive. The Josh Allen drafting in 2018. You said this in the article too. Stefon Diggs in 2020. And Von Miller, I think, is an aggressive, big-time, splashy move attempt. Anyway, whether it works or not, it's still an aggressive move to give Von Miller all that money in 2022. That's it. 3 moves that I consider truly aggressive. The rest, I don't know. Kind of take over.
Look, he has said this in the past in different variations of like how aggressive he is, and people got to stop me. I'm a maniac. Whoa, like and all that. And it's like, okay, dude, like you just laid off the examples of when the last time he was aggressive. I'll tell you when he failed to be aggressive. This past deadline, it was reported like Jalen Waddle was there for the taking, and he didn't want to give up a first rounder this year coming up, and like how's that aggressive? Like, who told him not to? Did he want to do it? And then, like, what, did Sean McDermott jump over the desk and disconnect the phone and say, you can't do this, buddy? Or did Terry do that? Like, I'm so sick and tired of him trying to create this narrative that he's just such an aggressive big baller Beane. And it's like, you just said it. Like, he didn't do that deadline. You know, Amari Cooper, okay, you gave up a third. I don't think that's, like, super aggressive.
Semi-aggressive. Amari Cooper hasn't played since then either, by the way. He's done. Like, so he's not a guy who's on his way out.
Yeah, the draft board, you were Houdini. Like I said, make a 30 for 30 of 2018's draft with Josh Allen and Tremaine Edmonds. Like,
read that comment on the screen, Joe, for people who are
you just took it off. No one considers that Beane has a Napoleon complex. This is from Christopher Dominic D'Amato.
He does, doesn't he? Kind of.
He totally does. And here's the thing. He is, to me right now, like, and this is definitely, look, I will put it as 50-50. This is me being an issue and him being an issue. But he has X-Pac heat right now with me. Like, I just don't want to hear from him anymore. It's go away heat. Like, this past week, he was on McAfee, the safe space. Maybe, I know you love McAfee because he's a meathead and he ball washes. He's like the king of mainstream ball washing. Like look, you're on the show. Oh, Beane, it's so great to have you. You're just great. Football. He does all this crappy cliche shit. But, like, he's on there and they're saying the same shit. And then, like, he invited McAfee. I don't know if you saw this on Bill's. They tweeted out, like, they invited him backstage or into the booth to go look with Brandon Beane, and they're looking at players. I was like, what the hell is this shit? Like, just go away, dude. Like, I just don't need to hear you. And this is where it's my fault outside of, like, I can't stand the dude. But, like, he he's been doing this for what, 8-9 years. He's the longest GM that the Bills have ever had since I've been a fan. You know what I mean? Like Polian, I think, was there for less time. I think Polian was like 86 to 92. This guy's been there longer. So I'm like enough. I don't need to hear you talk. I don't need to hear the same shit about, oh, I'm so aggressive and everyone thinks I'm aggressive and all this sort of shit. And I'm like, where's that proof, dude? Like, enough. Like, he's obviously cognizant of what everyone says. There's a part of me that thinks he loves McAfee because it's a national outlet and it's on ESPN, which ESPN has buried Beane. They buried Beane when he got promoted. And, you know, like the ESPN, like First Take buried him with Stephen A. Smith and a couple. And maybe he wants to get on there. So he's right after one to be like, hey, this is the friendly show where everyone loves me and all that sort of stuff. But like, there is no aggressiveness. Like, what aggressiveness are we talking about? Like, and you know, I know we're going to get to it with the Josh Allen contract stuff, but it's like, you know, where was your aggressiveness in this and all these other off seasons? Where was the aggressiveness after 2020 when you lost against the Chiefs in the AFC title game? The next year you brought in Emmanuel Sanders. Nothing happened. Like, you didn't really try to do anything. Like, this aggressive thing is just like, you know who's aggressive? The team that he hates, the Rams. That's an aggressive fucking team. That's an aggressive team for years where they were trading their first. That's balls to the wall aggressiveness.
Agreed.
Not this crap like, oh yeah,
Rams, Eagles, those are very aggressive organizations.
And like, the hyperbole, oh, they gotta stop me. Like, what are they stopping you to do? What, dude? Are you gonna tell me Sean McDermott stopped you? Maybe that's the new narrative, that Sean McDermott was yelling at him and like being meddlesome, and maybe some of that's true or whatever. But like, I'm just tired of hearing him, and I've always felt he was a little bit of a snake, and he's not one of my favorites. And like, just how he talks, and like, just a lot of hyperbole. The ball washing from the Bills Broby. I mean, they love him. They're never gonna try to get him fired ever. They love him because he golfs with them, and he took Kentucky Reed Derby to the Kentucky Derby to go fucking watch, you know, horses fuck or whatever the fuck they were doing. Like, I'm sorry. I'm just tired of him. Maybe he hears this and you'll look out and Boyko will call you and give you a press credential if you fire me, which I'm sure you'll be like, oh my God, I can ball watch in person, everyone, at One Bills Lie. I'll be there in a minute. But I'm just sick of his shit. I can go on and on about him. Like, but again, part of it is just like, it's go away heat because he's been there for a while. He's been talking and talking and talking. I've never admired his like, oh, I love Buffalo bullshit. Like, he tried to do that shit. Like, I'll always remember this, man. Like, the first year or two he was there, and I remember like the Antonio Brown trade that like fell through, and like there were people trying to say like, oh, he didn't want to come to Buffalo because it's cold weather or whatever. And it was obvious to me like he didn't want to come here because at the time the offense was the drizzling shits, and that's probably why he didn't want to come here. And then like you had all these media bros who were like, oh yeah, you know, he's disrespecting the chicken wing and blue cheese and the weather. And then Brandon Beane would just like jump into that and be like, this is my town too. You can't come here and talk about this. And I'm like, who are you talking about, dude? Like, he would just always go into these little cliches, low hanging fruit shit that I can't stand. And just always rubbed me the wrong way. And now that like he's like annoying, it's just like, I get it though. Like, look, just make some moves, shut up. Let your doppelganger Joe Brady, you know, talk about stuff, and I could be like, okay, like let this guy shine. Like, enough, dude. I'm just sick of him. I'm sorry. I know you love him.
Holy rants, man.
I'm just sick of him. I don't even want you to clip this because you'll clip this online, and then all of a sudden, like I'll get hate. Like, no, everyone hates him. The only people that like him are the Bills bro beats. I don't even think the content bros like him. Does Cover One like him anymore? No one likes him. He's annoying.
Before I got to go to a break, I will explain for like the fringe wrestling fans, when they hear the word heat and you associate it with wrestling, there's two kinds of heat. There's heat like, yo, this guy's getting a lot of heat, man. Then there's like go away heat. Go away heat is like just go away, man. It's not like, you know, booing and being mad. It's like, yeah, get out of here. We've had enough of you. That kind of heat. I got to take a quick break. On the video side, we're literally going to be back in about 5 seconds. I'm going to explain, you know, in some detail why I disagree to. I agree with Joe for the most part, maybe not his wording, but I certainly agree with the sentiment about Brandon Beane not being as aggressive as he thinks he is. And I'm going to explain why in about 5 seconds. Oops. I don't even know what the hell that sound was, but we are back on Talking Buffalo. This mixer has a mind of its own. Talking Buffalo will not be getting credentialed to cover games at Highmark Stadium in 2026 if they listen to this show. But I do want to say this. The three instances where I would consider Brandon Beane as being aggressive. Going back to 2018, I do give him credit for being aggressive because he traded twice to get up into the draft and get his guy. But I also will say this. I'll say this. There's an element of luck, too. Like, I do give him credit for being aggressive. I'm not going to completely shit on him and not give him any credit for anything. He did move up twice to get Josh Allen. He also got lucky that Josh Allen was there because Cleveland could have taken Josh Allen and they took Baker Mayfield instead. The Jets could have taken Josh Allen and they took Sam Darnold instead. So he moved up for a quarterback, but to get Josh Allen, there was an element of luck for sure. Denver decided they wanted Bradley Chubb instead. The Colts said they want Quentin Nelson. So there was an element of luck of getting Josh Allen, but it was aggressive. The Stefon Diggs move was definitely aggressive in 2020.
Yeah,
and again, and then the Von Miller stuff. But I'll say this too: the Bills, when they traded for Diggs, it was to get better and it was aggressive. But since 2020, the Bills have been chasing the Chiefs. They got to the AFC Championship game in 2020. They lost by 2 touchdowns, and ever since then, they've been chasing them. And again, going back to last week and him saying how aggressive he is, and I don't buy it. I'm going to kind of go through these year by year. Not every move, because that would take forever. But some of these, like, notable moves, I'm using air quotes, that really I don't think are that aggressive. Let's go to last year. Joey Bosa was the big-ticket free agent signing. I don't think that was that aggressive. It was a one-year deal. Maybe you took a chance. We'll call it semi-aggressive. Larry Ogunjobi wasn't aggressive. That was stupid. That was awful. You said it earlier. No trades. They needed to make a trade at the deadline. They tried. He was in a bad mood. Post-deadline press conference, he was basically whining about not being able to make a trade. Other GMs didn't want to work with him enough or win trade, yada, yada, yada. So I wouldn't say he was aggressive last year. 2024, you said it. The big move, they traded for an aging Amari Cooper. But they also traded Stefon Diggs away in the offseason for a future draft pick. That's not being aggressive. That's building for the future. They cut Mitch Morse. They cut Trey White. Their big free agent signing was Curtis Samuel and Matt Collins. Shout out Matt Collins.
Yeah.
Really good player for the Buffalo Bills. That's it for 2024. 2023, Connor McGovern was a good signing, but I wouldn't say he was aggressive. Ditto with Leonard Floyd. Leonard Floyd didn't even sign with the Bills until after May. So Hardy, Sherfield, those were the big 2 free agents besides that. They did trade for Rasul Douglas. I still don't think that all that shit I just said, Joe, I don't really think that's aggressive. And I see a lot of people in the chats, the Matt Collins funeral, diving pickle. Yes, sir. Fun fact.
Oh, God.
Since 2019, Brandon Beane in the first round of the draft, we talk about all this moving up, big moves, big baller Beane. He's moved up a total of just 4 spots. That's it. He moved up to go get Kyrie Elam in 2022. He only moved up 2 spots. Gave up pick 130 to do it. Dalton Kincaid. Moved up to get him, but he only moved up 2 spots. He only gave up pick 130. I don't know how aggressive that is. And then he traded down 5 spots in 2024 for Keon Coleman. So he's moved down more spots than he's moved up in the first round of the draft. Now, he did move up in the second round last year to get TJ Sanders. Guess we can call that semi-aggressive. Didn't work out so far. That's it, man. Like, his big draft swing was Josh Allen. I really don't think he's done much besides the draft. I don't get it, man.
It's just brand. Like I said, it's branding. That's all it is. He really wants everyone to think he's just this aggressive guy, and it's like, so maybe he's gonna be like, look, maybe a week from today or 2 weeks from today, we'll be like, yeah, you know what, Big Baller Beane's back. He was aggressive. He traded this, that, or the other thing. And
do you think he might be because he feels like he has to, or do you think he's secure enough in his job right now?
I told you, I think he feels secure. He got promoted, and I don't know when on the rundown we're going to talk about Josh Allen's contract, but I feel like he might be I don't know. He's in one hand he's talking about being aggressive, and in the other hand he's bitching about Josh Allen's contract. So it's like, okay, well, one of them, you're saying that the contract is not making you be aggressive in a way, but I'm aggressive still. What are you doing? like I said, I hope he gets it. I want him to win. Like obviously I do. I'm not a fan of his, but I'll be the first to, if he proves it this offseason, I'll come on here and like tip my cap to him. But like he's not that aggressive. I'm sorry. There's
I'm,
like, but go ahead.
I'm going to read a comment from Dr. Neil 22. Let me know if you agree with this. I don't even know what it says. I'm reading it as we go along, but I pinned it to show up here. Brandon Beane worships at the Templeton of his own narcissism. Brandon Beane is a petulant, narcissistic prick. Goddamn. Let me get it back up there as I'm continuing to read. He is convinced that he's better than he actually is. Beane is not aggressive in the sense of being aggressive for the right reason. Curtis Samuel, Josh Palmer, the second contract for Dawson Knox proves that he is incompetent and incapable. He's never been an elite GM. He's an average GM. Yes, he drafted Josh Allen and James Cook, but at best, he's average, and then it kind of cuts off after there. That's some pretty strong statements about the incompetence.
I mean, look,
I don't know if I'd call him incompetence.
I will say this about Brandon Beane, okay? Outside of him being a smug, very smug, and being kind of abrasive and like Mr. Branding, from 2018 to 2021, he was great. Great GM, Mitch Morris, John Brown, Cole Beasley, trading for Josh Allen, Tremaine Edmonds, Ed Oliver, Stefon Diggs trade, everything. Then 13 seconds happened. And, and we always talk about 13 seconds as like the flashpoint of McBean. Like, oh, they got to get this done. Or like, let's really like, are these guys the guys? Because they blew that game so badly. And since then, I think Beane, if you compare Beane from 2021 to now and before that, it's not even close. It is night and day. He has not been as good. He has not been on the ball. He's got a lot more free agent busts. Where's Cole Beasley, John Brown walking through that door? Where's Ed Oliver or other, Tremaine Edmonds or whatever walking through that door? You just read off the names before. Like even Dalton Kincaid, I know you love him, but like he's kind of been like a mystery. And he's been in the league for what, 3 years now? Like we should kind of figure it out by now. But like it just hasn't worked since then. And I think part of it is he's chasing after defense. And again, I think him and McDermott had the same philosophy of let's chase after defense, but it hasn't worked because they've brought in all these, we've talked about a 10 defensive line rotation of Dune, all these guys. Like, well, forget the offense. We don't need it because we got Josh Allen. But all of their moves since then, James Cook's probably like the best move they've made, maybe. Since 13 seconds, like that's it. It's not great.
He is. It's a good point. Drafted him in the second round, give him in his contract extension last summer, which a lot of people didn't agree with that move at the time. That has probably been Brandon Beane's best move. That could be a good topic for another week. Like, what are Brandon Beane's actual best moves since, or at least this decade, since 2020?
Yeah, like I said, but I'm telling you, between 2017 to 13 seconds, he was great. Even though, like, I went earlier, like, he did only add Emmanuel Sanders, and that was kind of but, like, he was great. Like, I didn't have, outside of his stupid quotes and being smug, like, fine, you did great. But since 13 seconds, as the GM, he's been the shits. Like, that's it. You can't tell me otherwise, because they got one really great player during that whole time frame. It's James Cook. That's it. Since 13 seconds. That's
I'll be slightly more diplomatic. I wouldn't say he's been the shits. I think he's been okay. He's been okay. There's been too many misses. I mean, he's had some hits, okay? But this isn't about Brandon Beane's his track record. It's about him saying that he's more aggressive than he is. And that's where I'm...
Yeah, that's how he is. Yeah, I get what you're saying. But he just hasn't been. And you have to be aggressive. Cole Bishop, Ryan Todd, you're right. Cole Bishop's been good. I'll give him
but it's not aggressive. He took him in the second round. He took James Cook in the second round. I know. I saw the comment. Like,
yeah, but no,
good players. Yeah,
good players. But like in general, it just hasn't been the same. It just hasn't. It has not been close to that. Like, sorry, and you know why he's going to say that? It's because of Josh Allen's contract. So
that kind of leads into what we were going to say next. One last thing, though, I do want to say about the aggressiveness or the moves that we've seen is for years you've said here on this show and you talk about, well, it's not just Brandon Beane. Sean McDermott's got as much pull with personnel as Brandon Beane. We're going to find out because now it's just Brandon Beane's show, but some people may say, well, Joey Bosa or Larry Ogunjobi, those were Sean McDermott guys. And Brandon Beane wanted to be more aggressive, and Sean told him, no, these are the kind of guys we want on this team. So don't really know about that, but you just referenced it. Several instances, including this past week at the great NFL Combine.
You know, I feel like real quick, I have to kind of apologize because look, I hold myself accountable, and I'm a little bit of a hypocrite because we're using content from the Combine for this discussion, and I've bitched about that there's not. But in fairness to everyone, to you, it's recycled quote. It's recycled quotes that he said probably 2 weeks earlier that he's going to say 2 weeks later because he's always available, or all these guys are available. But anyway, I just want to be. I want to be honest with the room. Like, this is content that, you know, thank God for the Combine, because we would have came up with this on ourselves. Because, you know, Brandon Beane never talks to the media, hand wanking motion. But yeah, go ahead.
Well, so you clearly have an axe to grind with Brandon Beane, and that's okay. At least you're upfront about it. You're not beating around the bush. Again, this is a different type of show for sure. I'm more about the results and the actions. And again, he said it, and Joe Brady also said it both at the Combine this week, that they keep referencing Josh Allen's contract and how much money he makes, kind of like a detriment, as if like the other moves haven't left them more cash strapped than the Josh Allen deal. It feels to me like Joe Brady and especially Brandon Beane are setting fans up for lower expectations that we should be having over the next couple weeks to couple months. You know, I was listening to Tim Graham's podcast last Friday with Jonah Bronstein, and he was talking about this topic. And Jonah was going on about Brandon Beane, the good and the bad, very, you know, objective in his commentary. And Tim said, I think Brandon Beane is, using another wrestling term, he's working us. Like, he's working us by going back to the Josh Allen contract well and stuff like that, preparing fans to, that, hey, we're going to try, but maybe we're not able to go get anybody good or, you know, spend the kind of money. But again, I go back to the other stuff, Joe, real quick. The Bills are 10th. They got the 10th most dead cap money they're carrying this season. And none of that's Josh Allen. Matt Milano, $11 million in dead cap space this year. He's not going to be back. Joey Bosa, $7.2 million. He's not going to be back. DeQuan Jones, almost $4 million. He's not going to be back. A.J. Bonessa, almost $3 million. He's probably not coming back. They're probably stuck with Teron Johnson because he gave him a terrible contract and restructured it. They could move on from him, but probably not. Dawson Knox contract, terrible. Tyler Bass contract, terrible. Terrell Bernard's contract, maybe he'll turn it around this year. Right now, looks like not that good of a deal. So I kind of feel like, you know, he's saying one thing about Josh Allen and using that excuse, but he's had a lot of bad contracts and a lot of bad deals, and he's carrying a lot of dead cap money, a lot of void money. And then that's the bigger reason why the Bills may not be players in free agency or the trade market coming up, right?
Yeah. Look, everything you have said is correct. So I'm not going to reiterate what you just said because I agree with it. I will go back to what you said about the cap and the dead contracts. There's a part of me that wonders is he bringing all this up and trying to focus on Josh to kind of, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? To basically hide how bad the cap is with other players and dead money. So he keeps just pointing at Josh Allen's contract instead of people being like, well, you just said it. Like, look at all this dead cap money. Like, you screwed the cap too, buddy, with other guys. It's not just Josh. And I'll even say this too. Like, look, I'm not objective when it comes to Terry Pagula. I kind of think he's an idiot. But it would not shock me if Terry Pagula doesn't know the cap that well, where, like, Brandon Beane can just go in there and be like, yeah, you know why we can't sign these guys or trade for these guys? It's Josh Allen's contract. Like, that's why. And like, Terry's not going to, like, be like, well, what about that cap money or anything? I don't know. He doesn't seem like he's like that. I don't know. He would get that, if that makes sense. Like, it's in over his head. But I do think part of that is what he's going for, is to set people up for disappointment, that they're not going to address everyone. He was, you know, I don't know if you saw the one quote from just hopping a little bit of, you know, sidebar. Joe Brady was pretty annoyed about being questioned about the wide receiver room. Like, I don't know if you saw that. John Scott interviewed him on well, like, they had the 5 minutes with him, and he was like, I don't really to paraphrase, he was like, I don't understand getting all these questions about the wide receiver room. Like, he is basically like, are you saying that because you guys aren't going to be aggressive in the wide receiver room like a lot of fans want to, so you're just more into the stupid defense? But yeah, like enough with the contract of Josh Allen. Like other teams like Jalen Hurts makes a lot of money, and the Eagles won a Super Bowl with a ton of talent there. So Stafford had made a lot of money, and they won a Super Bowl, and they had a ton of talent there too. Like this shouldn't. Are those teams complaining about their quarterbacks' contracts? No, I doubt it. I don't think the Chiefs are complaining about Pat Mahomes' freaking contract. And that's it. That's it. You got it. And instead, like you said before, you laid it out with all the dead cap money for guys that like. I think one of Brandon Beane's issues is Brandon Beane he cannot wait to extend his homegrown guys. He cannot wait. If they're mid, he's extending them. Okay, like he always extends them. I mean, he extended a special team
or resigns.
Yeah, but he always does that. He always does that when he sees any guy he drafts, because I think he wants to show Terry, like, look at these guys I developed. Let's look at how great these guys are. And these guys are like, some of them are good, but some of them are like marginal. Like, look, I'll use this as an example to the day I die. Like, I like Shakir. I think he's a very good wide receiver, but he's a guy that I think, I don't know, a lot of other rosters, they would have let him go because they'd be like, he's good, but we could probably find him in the 3rd or 4th round, a guy like that. Like, we could find an 800-yard receiver anywhere, but they couldn't wait to sign him. And like your boy Dawson Knox, they gave Dawson Knox a big-ass contract 1 year after he showed like he had a pulse, and they couldn't wait to extend him. And I think that's an issue. And that's why they're in the cap crap they're in. It's not because of Josh Allen's contract. I think it's because they think people are dumb, and they'll look at Josh Allen's contract and go, well, he's making $250 million or whatever the fuck he's making. And they think that makes sense. But it's like, I don't know, man. It just, as I said, he's got go away Heat with me. Go away Heat. Like, just
I don't agree with you. I don't agree with you specifically about Khalil Shakir. I see your point to an extent, though. I think Shakir was a fine resign or extension candidate.
I'm just saying, I do think teams would say, like, look, this is a guy who, what's his ceiling? His ceiling's like 70 catches. And like they're paying him a decent amount of money. And I would think a team like your goal should be to extend like stars. Those are what you want. And that's it. Like, and I just feel that way. Like, I like Shakir. He's a solid player. And I don't know. I just feel like in general, they can't wait to re-sign their own. Like Terrell Bernard has one good year. He's blah. And then they're like, we got to sign him anyway. And again, who knows? I'm sure the Bills were going to float out that McDermott wanted all these guys, and Brandon Beane was just being a good soldier and all that shit. So.
I think it's more about, well, the re-signings of those guys. I don't have any problem with any of them. Even Terrell Bernard, I still think if he bounces back, he's worth the money. But it's the way some of these contracts are structured. And I understand, hey, they gave Matt Milano, or he took a pay cut so he could stay. Dawson Knox, they kind of restructured his deal. Teron Johnson, they restructured his deal. Now we're seeing the ugliness of all that. And I don't even think my problem is so much that, hey, they're carrying $11 million in dead cap for fucking Matt Milano or 7.2 for Bosa. It's that they continue to use Josh Allen as the excuse on why they're not doing it. They're probably not.
And I'm just bringing up, and I'm just bringing up like these other contracts are a big issue. Out and out, whatever his name is. He has a good comment if you want to bring up on the screen. Go ahead, read it, Pat. You can read better than me.
They are forced to re-sign all their mid players because they have nothing in the hopper and development coming up behind them.
And that's true.
I think there's some areas of this team they've developed well. I think
no. But I'm saying so let me go back to Shakir. Mm-hmm. If they had a good wide receiver that they drafted, let's just say when did Shakir get extended? Last year. Let's just say Coleman last year as a rookie caught 70 catches. Sure. He was Ladd McConkey. Then you could sit there and go, do we really need to re-sign Shakir because we have this guy? That's what he's meaning. And I think he has a point there of other guys. Like, they just don't have guys behind.
There's some, though. I agree with that sometimes. Like, David Edwards is going to leave because, not that David Edwards stinks or that you don't want him back, but Alec Anderson, they developed him enough. Connor McGovern might leave because Seth Granger has been developed. Now, again, this is just one unit. I'm talking about the offensive line. Aaron Kromer's a great coach. I think he had a lot to do with it. I get your point, though. That's fair. Like, if they had a better wide receiver proven, maybe they say, well, we'll let Shakir play out the contract, and then we'll see what happens. But I don't know. In that case, I don't think Shakir's the best case to use to
Okay. I
demonstrate.
think I think it's more or less like if they weren't complaining so much about the cap, then I wouldn't be going over all these cap numbers to be like, oh,
Agreed.
like, that's why. Because like if you're setting me up that you're not gonna be that aggressive, I'm gonna look at the guys who are making money and being like, well shit, like maybe we shouldn't have extended this guy, because we could go out and get more guys. Because that's the problem with this team. This team doesn't have enough stars. They don't have enough like Pro Bowl caliber guys outside of Allen and Cook, and I don't know who else is there. Like they don't, and they
I
want to sign all their role guys, like everyone who gets drafted. And if you have a pulse, like AJ Epinesa, like you don't need to resign him. Like he was meh, and then you resign him because he looks like Roman Reigns. I don't know, like it just like he does look like Roman Reigns, so you got to admit
He
it.
does a little bit. I'll say this about Brandon Beane, and for the most part, I at least try to keep my commentary on him purely on the job he's done or hasn't done. But I will say a personality trait about him that does bother me, and I'm gonna be honest about it. And I know you agree, and I'm sure a lot of fans agree as well. There is definitely, I think you got to have thick skin to be a general manager because you're going to get criticism, heavy criticism, no matter what. I don't care if you won the Super Bowl for 3 straight years, you don't win it the 4th year, fans are going to get after you for, making mistakes. And Brandon Beane seems to have super, super sensitive skin. He does not handle criticism well. We saw it many times last year, starting with the WGR thing, doubling down on the Pat McAfee show. We all know that story. Again, I thought it was almost incessant whining at the post-trade deadline press conference when they were unable to make a move. And now what I'm hearing about, Josh Allen's contract, well, we're going to try. It sure feels that way to me. I think Brandon Beane's got a personality issue when it comes to being uber sensitive and I don't, maybe even petty, if that's the right word, Joe. Do you agree?
Sure. I
Yeah.
mean, I think so. Yeah. I mean, but that's been him a little bit. Like, you remember how what was it, a couple years ago when Josh Allen was like listed as overrated, and like I know a lot of people did get up in arms about that, and it was kind of stupid, but he was annoyed by that. And it's like, maybe just chill out, dude. You don't have to be the people's general manager every day of the week where you're just like banging your fist, Mr. Aggressive, everything hurts, and I don't know. It just feels contrived. It doesn't feel authentic.
His
And
perception is really taking a
he
strong hit
needs to
over the
have
last year. From last April through now, his image, his perception amongst
yeah.
even Bills fans is taking a huge hit,
Yeah,
ain't it?
and let me tell you, being with Pat McAfee and broing it up on his podcast, that's not a great way to do it. Like I said, less is more. Don't talk until you do something well. And I get it; it's the combine, so they make you talk. You know what? Do your 12-minute podium, then get the hell out of there and go look at guys in underwear. Okay, don't go on McAfee and CBS Radio and you're like, oh, this, that, or the other thing, and like being like, oh, Terry made the decision. I had nothing really to do with anything, which we all know is bullshit. Like, he was definitely involved, and he didn't just find out on Monday he was getting fired. Like, give me a fucking break, dude.
There's a lot
Like
of
I
people
said,
that say Brandon Beane backstabbed. You call him backstabbing Beane now.
that's one of the nicknames. Yeah.
Was Sean McDermott out and out in the live chat said the guy is allergic to humility. That might be hyperbole, but I don't know if it's that
But
much
look,
hyperbole.
like I said, this could be like a Vince Russo quick as hell face turn. Next week I could be on here and I'm like, yo, he traded for AJ Brown, or he traded for this idiot or whatever, and I'll be like, I'll put sunglasses on and do my best Bean, and that's it.
So the Bills did make one move already, and it kind of is like really like we're talking about salary cap and spending where like they kind of spend like it feels like other teams don't or shouldn't. Sam Franklin's fine. He's a good special teams player. This is a team where the wide receivers, other than Tyrell Shavers, had no special teams value. Trey White, if he doesn't start, he don't play special teams. So I get needing to have a special teams core 4 guy or two on this roster. But Sam Franklin, a 3-year deal, multi-million-dollar per year deal. I can't blame Sean. I used to think it was Sean McDermott who was obsessed with special teams guys. But the fact that they signed,
I'm
with due
sorry.
respect,
Yeah.
Sam Franklin, I like Sam, but come on, that's your fucking first signing or to a multi-year. Well, they re-signed Alec Anderson too, but
Unless
I'm like, what? Already? What? 3
unless that's
years?
unless that's Steve Tasker back there. I'm sorry. You let special teams guys, aces, air quote, go. And you find them in the draft in the 5th, 6th, 7th round. You coach them up. That's what you fucking do. Okay. Not in this day and age where I don't think special teams means as much because the kickoff rules and I don't know. It just feels. Look, Brandon Beane. I'm sorry. This is like the Bash Brandon Beane podcast, and I know
It
like
really is, man.
it
I
really
hope
is, and I'm sorry.
somebody is not going to be happy with the Bills
Well, look,
organization if
there's
they
a
listen to
bunch of
this.
yeah, there's a bunch of Bills Bro Beat podcasts that are they're anointing Brandon Beane as the savior of the earth. Where was I at? But like, yeah, just the like special teams. Like, come on, dude. Like, just this is where like put your money into something else, okay, or save it and just get star players. But I know, like, look, we just need him we just need free agency to get here because I think I could speak for myself. Like there's a bitter taste in my mouth that he's still here and that he promoted within. And I was of the mindset of, and I'll say it again, like, look, if him and McDermott couldn't get along anymore, then fire both of them and they start all over again. And like the fact that he got promoted and the roster was the drizzling shits last year, and now we're into like flashpoint of was it McDermott that was making all these decisions and Brandon Beane was the good soldier? Did Beane say don't do that? Don't do Keon, and then McDermott was like, oh look, he's from Florida, bring him up here, he'll love it. It's just kind of annoying. But look, get in the free agency, but and like make some moves, and then we'll all be happy. And then the bro beat can be like, we told you he was the greatest GM of all time.
Orville 716. Sam Franklin doesn't hold a candle to Mac Hollins' special teams ability. Assert. He look at that. He did the Mac Hollins funeral for me.
Oh my God.
Wow, Mike Hartle in the live chat, who loves to complain about this football team. I mean, I love listening to him, but he says, I like Sam Franklin. That signing is the least of our problems.
No, well, great. I didn't know who he was when they signed him. That's how big of a fan
Out and out says we need to pair Tim Graham and Joe from Queens on a pod. I don't know if would the chemistry be there with you and Tim Graham?
Yeah. Oh, I like Tim. Tim's a good dude.
You like somebody doesn't mean you got chemistry, though.
No, we have. I think me and Tim see things the same way, but like I'm more vocal about it, and because I'm abrasive, but he is too. But I like Tim.
He'll say what's on his mind.
I would ball wash Tim Graham. So shout out to Tim. He might be listening. So by the way, Spindrift. I got this in the camera. So I'm double fisting sparkling water and beer. Spindrift pink lemonade, very good. This Spindrift was famous because when CM Punk had his press conference when he declared war on AEW and he the brawl for all or brawl out thing, he was drinking Spindrifts because he's straight edge, and that's why I first saw it. And they're good. Anyways, go ahead.
One more quick 5-second break on the video side. Come back. A few more things to put a wrap on this. I'm going to ask you just a straight up poignant question. I already know 90% of people are going to roll their eyes, but I don't know, man. Maybe they shouldn't. Be right back. It may happen, it may not happen. Stefon Diggs could get released by the Patriots. They would have to pay him a good amount of money. I think it's like the 3rd league day. I'll just come right to the chase. The Bills need receiving help. Let's say, Rashid Shaheed, Romeo Dobbs, 2 guys that are very much being linked right now to the Bills. Maybe Mike Evans. Those guys want too much too much money. Brandon Beane doesn't want to pay that. Would you consider Stefon Diggs being a possibility to reunite with the Buffalo Bills? And the one thing I will say, even though the answer is probably no, and you'll probably say no, and everyone else will probably say no, but the one thing I will say is it's no secret that Stefon Diggs had some issues with probably multiple players and other issues, but his big beef was with Sean McDermott. It goes without saying, Sean McDermott is no longer the Buffalo Bills head coach. And one other thing, we've been talking about Brandon Beane being sensitive, overly sensitive, maybe even petty. What a troll move it could be for Brandon Beane to say, you know what, Sean's gone. I'm going to show you he was the problem. And we're going to bring Stefon Diggs back and see what he still has. He may be a better talent option than Brandon Cooks, or he is a better talent option than Brandon Cooks. Or a guy, like I said, maybe Mike Evans wants stupid money or things like that. Could you see a scenario where Stefon Diggs, if he gets released by the Patriots, plays for the Buffalo Bills again? You know the Bills love to bring back guys. What do you think? You tell me to wrap it up.
Yeah, like get to me, bro. Like hot tag me, damn it. You know, 2 months ago, I would have said, you know what? Why not? Like, give it a whirl. Maybe I'm getting old, but him being accused of strangling his chef. I don't
funny.
know. Like,
I'm
I
not
feel
laughing at that he did that. I'm just the way you said that, though. Yes.
it just makes me feel a little icky. Like, it's like the Tyreek Hill thing. Like, would I give Tyreek Hill a shot if he wasn't such a scumbag and douchebag and like all the things that he's been like that we've heard about? Like, if that was completely separate, maybe, even though he has the injury. But when you throw that in, I'm like, no, I don't want that guy on my team. And I'm like a little bit with Diggs, a little bit with the strangling his coat, and then there's other things. I don't know. It just doesn't. I'm just not. I'm not down with that. Plus, I think he would probably get a decent amount of money, and he might not be worth that because, you know, you have to worry about him getting suspended. Because look, they suspended Von Miller, and nothing happened to Von Miller. Like in terms of like he wasn't arrested. He wasn't. They didn't press charges or any of that. He just got arrested. Like, I don't know. There's like a little bit of that scumminess. Now, if you want me to take that away in terms of like the football thing, I would still say no because I don't think Joe Brady's offense meshes with Stefon Diggs'
I don't agree with
set.
that.
Why do you say that? Bro, we saw how Stefon Diggs' numbers plummeted because of Joe Brady's offense here 3 years ago. You remember that, right? That's when you said he lost a step. And I was like, no, he didn't. He just went into a different offense. And you were like, oh, no, Podfather said it is. And I was like, I don't know if Podfather said that, but I know you and I, we kept debating that like, you thought he lost a step. I thought the offense changed. That's why he wasn't as good. So I don't really think, you know, that's in the cards. Like, I don't think that offense, his skill set would mesh with your boy Joe.
Hey, let's get rid of the ball quick. I don't know. You know, Joe Brady took over on the fly in the middle of the season, and again, it certainly feels like Sean McDermott and Stefon had beef, and it was like soon as Joe Brady took over, Stefon Diggs' production went in the toilet. I get it at that time. I'm pouring out a stat for you. Didn't seem like it, but Stefon Diggs had 85 catches for over 1,000 yards this year, and it didn't even feel like he was like a superstar type player. But, man, you're telling me the Bills couldn't use that production? Would you take a look at him? Again, ideally you want a good, younger receiver. You would certainly want to draft somebody, no matter who your veteran edition is. But if you're talking football field, which is funny talking to you because this is flip-flopped because you've always been the one. You've always been the one
strangling the chef.
You can't strangle a chef, and it will not go over well with Bill's Mafia. There's also other shit too.
Yeah, like
there's other things.
Cardi B, like
I know. I don't want Cardi B. I do not need Cardi B representing Bill's Mafia.
Look, if you got Cardi B, Diggs, and Josh Allen and Haley. That is the most elite like celebrity couple sporting thing like since what Jeter and Mariah and I don't know who was Tino Martinez banging someone then I don't know like who was a celebrity but that's like a double celebrity couple like you cannot find that anywhere. But
I guess my point is Stefon Diggs is still a good football player and he'll be another year removed. They say sometimes it takes 2 years to really get back to 100% after the ACL. I'd love to know what his relationship is with Josh. Publicly, he has been nothing but kind to Josh Allen. He's been very complimentary of Josh Allen. He said that he's won MVP for a reason, this and that. I just wonder if it's out there that it could be a possibility.
So, and I'll also throw this out there. You have a first-year coach in Joe Brady who, as I said, him and Diggs did not click as well as it probably should have. Do you want that again? Do you want to have like him demanding the ball with a younger guy, you know, who's new on the job? You probably don't.
Yeah.
So But
Or
look, I mean, like I said, 2 months ago, I probably would say yes, but don't strangle your cooks. Come on, Pat likes to cook. I like to cook. Don't be
I don't
strangling
like
us.
to cook. I'm not a any. I'd be the one getting strangled. Stefon Diggs would strangle me if I was his
All right,
chef.
then
I
never
can
mind.
tell
I
you
thought
that
you
right now.
cooked wings and hot dogs in the air fryer
I
or
do. I
something.
bought a Ninja Foodie air fryer,
Oh,
and it's
those
been
we have one of those. It's fucking off the
it's
chain.
kind of been a game changer. You don't
Oh
like it?
yeah. No, it's off the chain. I have the air fryer that's a grill as well, so
Me
I
too.
always grill. Yeah, it's dope. It's a very like I have this fantasy one day, real quick, that one day I want to do a podcast like this on video where I'm actually cooking. And I'm gonna have the camera like right next to me while I'm cooking. I'm grilling chicken. I think it would be must see TV to see me cooking some pasta, some chicken, grill some chicken. It would be great. And you're looking dead and you're looking at the comments. You're not even listening to me.
I'm listening to you.
I'm giving you gold. You're not even smiling. I'll
I'm
do
li-
this.
I'm
I'll go on Tone Puck's podcast and do that. I'll cook with your ex boy or whatever. You know?
No, I was just looking at some of the comments, and they're still
Shout out
going
to
on
Tone Pucks.
about Diggs. I can't find. Here it is. Where I don't know where it is. God damn it! Somebody said, and I apologize for not calling the person out or shouting them out. Has Joe Brady ever elevated a wide receiver since being Bill?
No.
That's a lead topic for a show. I'm actually going to steal that topic. That's really good. Like, what receiver has come to Buffalo and prospered since?
Oh, that reminds me too. I'm so sorry and you know what? I'm stealing Tim Graham's heat here because he mentioned it. Like they are so trying to connect Joe Brady to Drew Brees and Sean Payton, and I'm like, I don't even remember him being with the Saints. Like I remember the LSU stuff. I remember the Carolina stuff because they can't say like, oh, he's Matt Rule's protege because Matt Rule sucked, and they're just like literally hammering this protege. Like what did Joe Brady do in the Saints? He wasn't even the OC. What was he, like the quality control coach? Was he the quarterback's coach for Jameis Winston? Like what the hell was he doing with that? I don't even remember what he did. Can someone in the chat, Tooch probably passed out already, but like let me know
Diamond Pickle went from chatting a lot to disappearing. He might be passed out somewhere on the couch.
Yeah, but I want to know, like, I don't remember anything about Joe Brady being in New Orleans. Like, I don't remember that at all. Like, what the hell did he do there? Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, what was the other one too? We're circling in and out. Now we've got
diving pickle. Wait, put that question up. That was a good one. Sorry, I'm overproducing you.
You are overproducing. What did Diving Pickle say here?
How much did McDermott have to do with the wide receivers? It is a fair question. I mean, look. Do I think Sean McDermott wanted to change the philosophy to be more of a run-heavy team over passing? I do. With that being said, the wide receivers before that were really good. Cole, Diggs, Josh Brown. He also has been on the record, and look, you can say it's bullshit, that he says, like, I cut my teeth with Andy Reid, and you got to throw it. And I think he really wanted wide receivers a bunch of different times and never got them. So,
sure. I want to get to a couple, because we're kind of weaving in and out of shit now. We've reached the random portion of the podcast, which I love, actually. A couple media things. Or this is going back a handful of minutes, too. Orville716 said, Gary and Graham would be great. Talking about, I don't know, podcasts or maybe a radio combo. I don't agree with that.
Too much football.
Not even that. Too much lead talking. Like, you gotta. There are two guys who like to lead. They don't like to be the sidekick, so to speak. You know what I'm saying?
Graham can be a sidekick. Gary, he definitely likes.
I love Nate, but listen,
of course,
he's a my guy. He's a my guy.
Oh, he's on the my guy list.
Yeah,
we gotta do the my guy list. Can we do the my guy list?
We will one day. But Nate, you could do an hour show with Nate, and like if I'm with some people. I will have a whole list of questions. If I have Nate on, I could have 2 sentences and it could be an hour show because he's going to give you 25-minute segment answers to all the time. The dude could just go on the microphone forever.
So could you. You could go forever. I mean,
so do you. Are you kidding me? Joe and Mrs.
Yeah, but I have to take over. I have to interrupt you. If I was just like passive and you just like shine me up.
What were you about? You were about to lose your mind because you wanted to say something.
Oh, what the hell was I going to say? I don't remember.
I forgot already.
No, I don't remember.
Well, let me get to the next one then. Christopher, this is always fun. Christopher Dominic D'Amato said, Pat, we need another Western New York media draft. He says, I'm
God.
going round 1, Tim Graham, round 2, Joe from Queens.
I am not
That's
media.
that's
I
a
am a
bust
critic.
right there. That's
a bust. That's terrible.
That's your TJ Sanders. That's
I'll
your
say this.
Landon Jackson.
You
Hold
know,
on. Round
go ahead.
3, I got it for people listening.
Sure.
Round 3, Mike Catalano. Round 4, Vic Carucci. Round 5, Matt Bove. Thoughts? You're not.
I don't really have much about Matt. What's his name? Catalano. I've never really listened. I've never really listened to him, so I don't really have. I think he's he always does a lot of Bills games.
He's been around for a long time.
He always does a lot of Bills the preseason games, and I'm always worried when people do preseason games because they give you that stupid Bills polo and like you got to wear this, and I would be like, fuck you, I'm not wearing any Bills gear. That's against journalism, and they fire me, and I'd have to go home and go on, your podcast.
out and out. This guy's becoming fun on this show. Because I'm not sure Nate even knows who the host is when he's on other pods.
Nate Carey. Well,
that is funny.
Nate,
Mike Catalano is one of the best. I mean, he's been around for a long time, and he's actually low-key really funny on like the Buffalo Plus podcast.
God. Yeah, he's
really. No, I love that show. I do.
Oh, you love every show. Is there a show you don't listen to or you fake listen to? Like you fake listen to everything. Listen to all these shows. They're my crew. Ball wash everyone.
Jenna Cottrell, man, she's one of my favorites. Seriously, I'm not joking. Like I really enjoy that show.
Dan Fan Fentis, you liked him too? Is he your boy? You've had him on the podcast. Right?
I've had him. He has I don't know why he unfollowed me on Twitter.
What? So are you heated about that?
I don't have beef. I don't have heat with Dan Fates, but he's not on the My Guys. He's not a My Guy.
Okay. He definitely he rocks the hoodie with the jacket look, which I do not trust at all. Like there's like a suit coat, like a suit coat with a hoodie. No, I don't know what bullshit hipster concert you went to and you saw someone wearing that. No, that's a you're off the podcast, buddy. So anyway,
he's got interesting takes. Again, I love Jenna, and again, Mike Catalano is one of the best, and it's a really good show. It really is, and it looks like a TV show too. It's very well produced because it is from a
they were there, I think, all week at the combine. Like some people left the combine pretty early, like a couple days in, which is smart because it's a waste of fucking time, and you may as well use that money on I don't know golfing or whatever the fuck they do when they go out to Florida for the Bills fucking owners meetings or whatever they call it. But yeah, they were there for a while. I'll say this, we talked about Brad and Graham. I listened to their show a couple different times. I really felt bad because Graham got sick and he was out. That sucked. I did not listen to this past week because I knew Graham wasn't going to be there. But Brad is very to give about Brad White. What makes him kind of different is that Brad's not the type of guy who's going to talk about the wide receiver position every day of his life. Like Jeremy White talks about the wide receivers every day. Like I'm pretty sure
it's his thing.
It's his gimmick. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he talks about it at dinner with his kids, and he's like, "Let's talk about the wide receiver train and like choo choo with the kids." But like Brad will talk about like going out and playing basketball with his kids, like shoot the shit thing, which I like genuinely because it's different. But I don't know how WGR feels because GR might be like, you need to talk about the Bills every day or you die.
I wonder what they're doing. So they went with Tim and Brad for 2 weeks. Again, Tim got sick, so I don't even really think they ever truly got going. And honestly, I didn't get a chance to catch them. Hopefully they'll be back this week.
Yeah, because you were bitching about them not being on YouTube. Like, what the hell was that about? Like, Tim Graham, hold on. Now, before you go to the next thing, you bitched about, I saw it because you don't see my comments because I'm protected because I don't want you to see my political.
I don't want to see your tweets. So
yeah, I don't want to see. I don't want to get
two-way street there.
I don't want to see your stupid DMs being like, you about my tweets about politics. I don't need to see that shit. But I saw your stupid tweet about like, oh, they should be on video. I hate the Odyssey app. Like, dude, figure out the Odyssey app. Tim Graham is on the My Guy list, and you totally let him down by not listening to his show because he wasn't on YouTube.
I couldn't. I was driving that day. I wanted to listen.
Oh, my God.
I could put on YouTube on my auxiliary and drive.
I'm sorry.
It's the radio.
Okay. What's WGR is on the radio too? You could have just put the radio
Odyssey app
on.
sucks.
No, but you
I don't
could
have radio in my studio or
you're
my
in the
car.
car. You can put it on 550 in the car like it's 1990. You idiot. Oh my
I think
God.
it was a missed opportunity, but I also, again, there was scheduling conflicts. Owen
Yeah,
Parker
totally.
had scheduling conflicts, at least early, and then Tim got sick. Tim got sick the second
Yes.
day
I already said
of
that while
the
you were
show. But
staring.
yeah, why would you not stream that show? Anyway,
Because
so
videos don't do that great for them. Like, go see the hits. It's not that
again, I think
great.
the Odyssey app blows, and I
No,
have
the
been very
Odyssey app
vocal
is
about that.
great. If you listen to the Odyssey app
Not
not
great.
live, no, if you don't listen to it live, it's great because you
Well, I
go
want to listen
right.
to it live. Why the fuck
Why
do I
would you
want
want
to
to
go
listen
back
to it
listen
live?
to? I'm not going to watch it on demand or listen on demand.
Why? You're a
Because
weirdo.
I
You were the
already
most.
listened
You
to
were
all my
probably you.
guys. I got the Podfather
My
show
God.
on. I got Mafia Matt and Ryan. What do you call him? Pitchfork Ryan. I listen to
No,
them
no, it's
3 times a week. I listen to a
clickbait
Tim
Talbot.
Graham
No,
show, so I don't
yeah.
have time to listen to the Odyssey app on fucking on demand. I want to watch it live. I watch Jeremy and Joe live. I watch the
Oh my
Bulldog and Show live sometimes.
goodness.
Sometimes Sales got the extra point live. They should have
Jesus
that
Christ,
spot.
how many people are you going to ball wash? I listen to everyone live. I listen to everyone. I listen to
Anyway, I was
everyone.
trying to get to my point. So Tim and
Go ahead.
Brad, they're going to do other accommodations starting today, Monday. Nate Gary's on for the next 2 weeks with Chris Trapasso. That's an interesting combo. My only beef with that would be, are they going to be able to hold their own talking hockey? Because right now, Sabres hockey should be as prominent in Buffalo sports talk as the Bills, if not more. I mean, this team's about to do something. They're about to break an historic drought. And you got two kind of, well, especially with Chris. I love Chris, but he's a football guy. I'm not saying he can't talk Sabres, that he's not a Sabres fan. I'm just saying it's a
Well,
pretty big ask. I hope that they're going to talk plenty of hockey.
I'm sure they will, or they'll get your boy Paul Hamilton on a couple different times. But I think that shows, and I'm cheap plug my piece that's dropping tomorrow does kind of talk a little bit about that. But I think a lot of it is like football sells more in that town than hockey, and that's even if it's like, okay, like it's the off season and we're talking about Brandon Beane
You
and
may be
his
right. I hate that,
and
though.
I but that's what sells. I mean, and that's kind of what they want, So look, they talk about football all the time on that station. Like they always do. And I'm not here to like blame them. Like the Bills have been better than the Sabres, but and maybe when the Sabres if the Sabres keep continuing to be great and they're like anything can change. Like I think the vibes are very high right now. So I think tomorrow on GR, on Monday, they'll talk a lot about the Sabres more than the Bills probably. But they're always going to be kind of even at worst, or they're going to talk more. But also, I think it's a little bit of, you have to look at the competition. They're going like 1-3, they're going against one Bills lie. And maybe they're like, hey, we need to have football on heavy to go against them, with the streaming and all that sort of stuff. And we shouldn't do counter programming of having hockey on more than against them. Maybe that's how they view it, in terms of that with the competition with them going against one Bills lie on their stream. And I said lie, by the way, LIE. I know you love One Bills Lie, even though you don't listen to them. You're like, they do great stuff. Oh, I get it.
I want to
Vince
go back to the
McMahon
comments too, because we were talking about other podcasts. I may as well just I'll put this up. Christopher Dominic D'Amato again said, Pat and Joe, you absolutely have to watch the Rock Pile Report if you don't already. I've been watching them.
Oh.
They're one of the few podcasts that they've been around longer than this one. And there's not a lot out there that have. And it's funny. I literally, as we're talking and you were talking and I was doing what I usually do, which is looking at the comments and ignoring you, I just got a DM from them about coming on their show next week, but I'm going to be in Florida. So that sucks. They got a cool studio. The way they do it at Chris's house, the producer there, really cool shit. It's a very loose show, very vibey. I don't say vibey. It's a fan conversation. They don't try to pretend that they're reporting. They have really good Bills conversations. Someone else said you and Drew should have a conversation. It actually would be interesting. Two complete psychopaths having a conversation.
I should give them. They follow me on Twitter. I should give them.
It's a great show. It's a different show. It's well produced, and again, they've been around for.
Can I ask you a question? Because you dissect everyone's vibe. Like they're not this. What's our vibe to you? Like, what do you tell your wife? Because I know you talk to your wife every day about your podcast. You don't talk about anything else. You don't talk about like where Shane should go for a job or who he should marry or anything. Like, you just talk about your fucking podcast every day. So what am I to you?
Real. Like
That's
some
it.
people, I think if they
We're
go on a
shooting,
show,
brother.
if two people go on a show, it could go one or two ways, and they always agree with everything.
Yeah.
Or if they go on a show and they seem like they're arguing about everything, it could feel contrived and not authentic. I don't like you a lot of the time, and you don't like me a lot of the time in real life. Like Joe and I talk almost every day. We
Oh
end up
God.
bickering. We end up bickering probably, I'd say, 50 to 60% of our
I
conversations.
had a 2-day break from you, and I was so
Yeah.
happy. I didn't have to
So
have
we
any.
bicker all the time. We interrupt each other. We get pissed at each other, and then we quickly get over it. Very much that's how it carries on to this show. So I would say that the vibe or the chemistry, whatever you want to call it, when you and I do this show each week is, for better or for worse, it's real. It's authentic. That's how I think I would. That's how I think I would describe it. It's real. So I'm just trying to. Again, I'm looking at comments here. What's Christopher say? Your vibe is like my parents are fighting, but guests are also here. And I'm standing in the kitchen with everyone acting like it is okay because this is just how they are. All right. Because people are ball watching me. You don't think I'm going to put this up there? Pat is one of the few content creators who is actually open-minded enough to move off his spot on the pod. Thank you. And he's right, because that is true. You're the complete opposite. Once you have a take, you will plant your flag into the ground and you ain't coming off your take, no matter what.
I will come off my take. Just prove me wrong. Just prove me wrong. Okay, that's all. And I'm like I said, I'm the first to come out and go, yo, I was wrong about this. I do that all the time. Anyways,
Orville said, this is the best pot around and ain't close. Just woke up. My wife by laughing. You don't like it. Are you getting uncomfortable with the ball?
Yeah, we don't need these compliments, okay? I don't like getting compliments. I don't like receiving compliments, okay? Enough, okay? Like, we don't have to be ball.
Is that real? I believe that. Like, you probably cringe when people compliment you.
No,
I live for compliments. I
know you do. I'm sure, like, if your wife's like, yeah, you look good today, you're like, oh, you gotta go rub one out. But yeah, one question. Let me go back to football. I mean, I know we're.
I got one more thing left, but what were you going to say? No, what were you going to say?
Do you want Tremaine Edmonds?
Oh, not at what I think he's probably going to cost. I don't think the Bills have the luxury of spending good money for an off-ball linebacker. They got Bernard and Dorian Williams. They'll probably add somebody. They will add somebody. But not big money. They got to spend big money. It's got to be for a wide receiver. It's got to be for an edge rusher to go along the other side of Greg Rizzo. I like Tremaine Edmonds. I think he's better than a lot of fans gave him credit for when he was here. But, man, I don't know. I just think that's too much money.
You weren't a giant fan of him. You thought about him all the time. I remember you not being like a big.
Yeah, I thought I didn't appreciate him enough.
Plays.
He had a really good last season, and then he won and he got paid. Someone, Diamond Pickle, said Edmonds is better than Bernard. I agree. Back to your point a half hour ago, well, you locked up Terrell Bernard. If you didn't have him locked up, you move on, you sign Tremaine Edmonds, and maybe you upgraded there. So that is a case where maybe that wasn't a great deal for Brandon Beane.
Cheap plug. I mean, okay, that's all I wanted to say, but I want to promote my blog. See, I need to ball wash myself later. What's the other topic you wanted to run through? You said was there another?
Joe from Queens is the Larry David equivalent of content creators.
I miss Larry David. I loved Curb Your Enthusiasm. That was a good show.
I used to call my former good friend Tone Pucks Larry David.
Oh, you love him.
He's like a Larry David type.
We got to get you guys back together. We guys got to get you back.
Happen, man. It's not going to happen.
Oh my God, he's listening. He's probably listening now. Like, shout out.
I highly doubt it.
I'm on here. Tone Pucks loves me.
Maybe he likes you.
He said you fell into me like I forgot what example he used. Like Terry Pagula falling into the Josh Allen. And I agree with that 100%. You are a Terry Pagula.
You're my Josh Allen? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, so you're a fucking Terry Pagula.
I wanted to run this off. It seems so off topic now, especially over the last 20 minutes when we're just rambling about bullshit, but it's fun. I wanted to run off to you and everyone listening to this show the top 10 NFL highest career earnings of all time of non-quarterbacks. So these are players who have earned the most money in NFL history, non-quarterbacks of all time. And this is random. I mean, it doesn't really connect to anything we've talked about, but just want to run this list by you, see what you think, see what people listening would think. How many of these will surprise you? I'll give you a quick guess, and then I'll run them. I'm not going to have you guess each one. But number one, do you know who the number one all-time non-quarterback NFL earner is?
So how is this based on like inflation or like
Just how much money they've made in their career, their contracts.
Their contracts, okay. For their
all
career.
The money they've made on all their contracts that they've gotten, how much money they've made in their career. Non-quarterbacks.
Okay, like
number one.
Well, it has to be more of a guy who's still playing because obviously salaries go. I can't say Bruce Smith. Like it wouldn't be Bruce Smith because he made.
I'm looking right now, and I'll tell you this. Let's see. There's one. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. 6 of the 10 guys on this list are currently active NFL players.
Okay, Von Miller.
He's not number one.
Not
let me. I'll give you a hint at number one. Okay. He has Buffalo ties, but he's never played for the Buffalo Bills.
Khalil Mack. Okay,
Khalil Mack, number one. $218.3 million Khalil Mack has made. He's number one. Mm-hmm. Number two, he might actually get cut soon because of a contract situation. Trent Williams, offensive tackle for the San Francisco 49ers, $218 million. Number three, you mentioned him, Von Miller. He's made $199.6 million, including a fuckload of money from the Bills for about, 7 sacks or some stupid shit like that. Anyway, that's number three. Number four is the highest non-active player on this list. Defensive tackle, Ndamukong Suh. I always had a hard time pronouncing his name.
Yeah, that makes sense. He was like the first $100 million player, I believe.
$186.5 million. Number five, the highest earning wide receiver of all time, and he's not active. Got a guess? He doesn't play anymore. I'll give you another guess. Either he's in the Hall of Fame or he's going to be going into the Hall of Fame.
He's either in the Hall of Fame or he's going to.
Either he went in this year or he's going in this year. He's going in this year.
Oh God, who the hell is it? I don't know who.
Larry Fitzgerald.
Oh, of course.
$180.8 million. Number six, guy always went on the Bills, never worked out though. Julius Peppers. $165 million.
Oh, John Fox is here, baby. He could get him out of retirement, and you know them. They like the Carolina Panthers, man.
Number seven, still playing, Lane Johnson, Philadelphia Eagles. He's made $163.4 million. Number eight, defensive lineman, still playing, Leonard Williams. He's made $159.9 million. Number nine, Aaron Donald. 158.1.
That's it. I would have thought he got more, man. Aaron Donald was elite. Like that dude was
158.1 million. Number 10, and this is what interested me the most. I'll give you
Trey White.
he's an active wide receiver.
Oh,
and I'll give you I was going to say an active wide receiver that we talked about on this show today. Stefon Diggs, number 10 NFL non-quarterback earner of all time. He's made $157.2 million.
One thing about Diggs, I just wanted to say, your guy, the third guy on the guy list, Ty Dunn, has said that Josh Allen does not like wide receivers chirping in his ear about getting him the ball. He has mentioned that a few times, so that's why, like, going back to Diggs, the quarterback may not want an alpha male yelling at him that I want the ball, which I think I talked about this about a month ago, which I hate because it's like, dude, get the best players. If you get bitched at, who gives a shit? You're married. You get used to getting bitched at, and you're gonna have a kid coming too. You'll get them bitching at you. So this will be a walk in the park. Trust me.
Yeah, so. And for a couple people in the comments, Lane Johnson said, "What about Jalen Hurts' contract?" Well, like I said, these are non-quarterbacks that we were talking about. All right, before we get out of here, let me put this up, actually. I think I should be able to get this on the screen. But again, a lot of people are listening and not watching the show, but this is Joe's
oh God, thank you. Look at that.
Look at that. There you go. This is Joe's what the hell am I the word? Substack. This is your blog.
Yeah.
It's Joe from Queens.substack.com. And like I said, he just started it and
And to tease people tomorrow, I'll probably drop this probably around 10 a.m. I'm going to be talking about just a couple of quick things. I will be talking about Jim Leonard and his connection to a previous head coach for the Bills and how I think that could be the defense he runs. That's called a tease. I'm also going to I'll talk a little bit more about the whole Josh Allen contract crap that we kind of went over. So it's going to be a little redundant on that part. I will also be talking politics. So good. I'm sure you'll be skimming through that part, Pat.
That'll be a quick skip for me.
Yeah, eat me. And then I will also have a really good in my Joe shot category, my dad's shot, not Joe shots. I will have a really good blue cheese recipe dressing. So those are like some of the things I'm going to have tomorrow on my what's it called again?
Stop saying tomorrow. You mean today for most people. Anyway.
Today, yeah. So if you're listening to this, I'm going to drop it at 10 a.m. Monday. So refresh the page. I'm trying to. I might try. I don't know if it's going to be a weekly thing. I kind of want to do it once because, look, for people who don't know, I used to be a blogger from 2009 to 2017. A very successful website called Buffalo Wins. Pat was very jealous of it because he had Buffalo Sports Daily, which was terrible. And then I quit because I just was bored by it. And I'm kind of back. I'm going to get some subscribers. Maybe it's going to be a tax write-off. It's kind of like the end goal. Like I can get a tax write-off because I'm losing money and what the hell? May as well get some government money since the government's fucking us over every day. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding about that. Just kidding about that.
I got bored with blogging. I actually wouldn't mind getting back into blogging. I got a Substack, but all I do is put the podcast
and the chicken wings and fish fries
and chicken stuff. But to end this, I do like the dad shot. See, I like when I read a sports blog, I kind of like to have little. Kind of like this show. I like that. Some people don't like it. Trust me, there's not a week that goes by where I don't get comments, unsubscribe, stick to the fucking Bills. Nobody cares about how fat you are. Nobody cares about what TV show you watch. Nobody cares that you watch the Actor Awards tonight. Stick to the Bills. Stick to the Sabres. Go fucking somewhere else then, because on this show and when I write and when I read other people's work, I like to kind of read random facts, like quick hits. And that's what I like about your dad shots. I'm scrolling through. You talk about House of Dragon, which I don't care about because I'm not watching it.
Dude, you should watch it. I mean, what the hell? Like, you watch Game of Thrones. We talked about, back when you used to be cool, we used to talk politics and we used to talk Game of Thrones. And you stopped doing that because you probably talked to Mailbag Jay and he was like, you can't talk about politics. You're going to split the audience. And you were like, you're right, Mailbag Jay. You're the greatest. Thanks for that advice. And we can never talk about it ever again. Anyway, why can't you just watch one fucking House of Dragons? Watch House of Dragons.
It's a miracle that I liked Game of Thrones. It's not my kind of show. It's not my thing. I still can't explain why I liked it. I did like so you have a fish fry take. I miss Buffalo fish fry. New York City doesn't understand. New York City doesn't understand the assignment. It's supposed to be slightly greasy and served by somebody who has a Bills shirt from 2000.
That was a little pandering of me with the Bills stuff. Like, you need to wear a Bills shirt from 2004. A little pandering.
And then one other thing in there, which you're crazy. You say I refuse to pay more than $9 for a streaming app. That's my line in the sand and why WWE's in trouble. Is there a streaming app that costs less than $9? I don't even think there is.
I mean, I'm borrowing passwords from everyone. That's why I'm not paid. I'm borrowing passwords. But you know what? Here's a key. If you cancel it or you try to, they will down the price for you and go subscribe for 3 more months for $7.
I did that with that stupid Stathead thing that you made me subscribe to.
Yeah, because you don't know how to use it.
And they gave me like half price for like a full year.
Yeah, because you don't know how to use it. I've tried to tell you this is how you use it. And you're like, I know how to use it. You don't know how to use it because if you knew how to use it, you'd be using it every day. And so you do. Anyway, look, Ryan Toggin, whatever your name is, House of Dragons sucked. I thought it was fine. I did hear that Night of the Seven Kingdoms was good though. That I've heard. That's going to be what I'm going to binge next. It's like a 30-40 minute show. So, anyways, all right, let's get out of here.
Yeah, let's put a wrap.
Subscribe to my Substack. I'll be trashing Pat tomorrow.
I'll start putting it in the show notes, and when we have the show going forward, I'll put a link.
Well, thank you.
A banner.
I appreciate you promoting me for once. I mean, you ball wash every other content, bro, that you don't watch or listen to. You can ball
skip
wash
the politics parts though, but you can read. The
you know what?
No, I'm just joking. Write what you want. You do you.
You're gonna call me and be like, you know what? Someone DM'd me and wasn't happy, and they're gonna leave the podcast because of it. and then I'm gonna have to like go to rehab or something.
All right, guys, that's definitely going to do it for this show. Joe from Queens.substack.com. Go check it out. Go subscribe. It's free. All you got to do is hit subscribe, put in your email, and bam. They actually, that's one thing I love about Substack too, by the way. They will, if you subscribe, when you drop something like Tyler Dunn's Go Long or whatever you subscribe to, you get a notification. They send you an email with the article. Anyway, all right, go subscribe to that. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching, for listening, and people watching on the video side, for commenting on the live show. Leave a comment. Let us know what you thought about any topic we talked about. Appreciate you guys very much. Joe Yerdon, Monday night, 9 p.m. video side. Joe Yerdon will be with me live. We'll be talking Sabres, plenty more tomorrow.